After arriving at the Green Peak domain, Bayu couldn't help but tremble slightly as she looked at the devastated scene in front of her. This is it. This is the territory of the heavenly demon ancient Fox sect. To enter the secret realm, we must possess the key to the Fox clan's secret realm. But how should we proceed now? Just when we were at a loss, suddenly, from below the mountain, came a series of grumbling and complaining noises. You bunch of fools! If you want to enter the secret realm, you must obey us. Despite that, not a single person showed any dissatisfaction. Following closely behind that group of people, the nearby refugees kept praising the man in front of them. Don't worry, you won't suffer any losses if you follow me. Our leader single-handedly annihilated the entire Fox Demon clan. Not only did we take their key to the secret realm, but we also learned about the existence of a paradise within the secret realm. That's the only safe haven left now. Upon hearing what the man said, Bayu felt a surge of anger. She immediately wanted to go down and kill those bastards who insulted her ancestors. But then I grabbed Bayu's hand. Tears filled Bayu's eyes. They killed our people. We cannot let them go unpunished. Seeing Bayu's sadness, I quickly explained that now is not the time to kill them. The Heavenly Demon Clan is definitely monitoring every move in the various realms. We must proceed discreetly to avoid any trouble during this operation. Those people may appear weak, but they dare to venture into the dangerous secret realm you mentioned, claiming it to be a paradise. There must be secrets hidden within, and their destination is the same as ours. Acting rashly will only hinder our search for the divine artifact. Then, I gently touched Bayu's cheek, assuring her that once this is over, I will let her personally kill those people, avenging her clan. Under my tender touch, Bayu calmed down, and she asked me about my next plan. Instead, I placed my hand on the ground. For us, following them means avoiding danger, but we have no way of knowing their secrets. I suspect their secrets are mostly related to the divine artifact. So, next, we need to disguise ourselves. Meanwhile, upon hearing about the plight of the Fox Demon clan, the refugees couldn't help but sympathize. However, this clearly angered the leader among them. They're just a group of beautiful beasts. What's the loss if they die? But I spoke up at this critical moment. Brothers, is the paradise you mentioned truly real? Big brother, please take us along. Upon seeing this, the man sneered, turned around, and put on the appearance of a helpful big brother. Just follow behind us, he said, while his gaze freely wandered around Bayu's body. It had been a long time since I had seen such an extraordinary beauty. Seeing this, I merely placed my hand on my chest and expressed my gratitude. Finally, under the guidance of those people, we arrived in front of a statue of a fox demon. The leading man took out a wooden box from his pocket and pressed it against the indentation on the statue. As soon as the box was inserted, the ground began to tremble. At the same time, a golden magic circle appeared in the sky. So, this is the hidden realm within the forest. This mountain behind us must be the teleportation point to the secret realm. And the wooden box is the key to opening the secret realm, right? The man grew annoyed with my incessant talking, and reprimanded me while taking out the key to the secret realm. No wonder the old man had been searching so hard for the divine artifact for many years. I never expected it to be hidden so deeply. Suddenly, a loud roar caught everyone's attention. Quick, look, what is that? A giant rat, tens of meters tall, appeared in the forest. Watching the group of lackeys skillfully turn and run, I became even more certain that there was something seriously wrong with this group of people. Although the rat was enormous in size, its strength was estimated to be at the peak of the Transcendence realm. To exterminate the Fox Demon clan, they would need to be at least at the Immortal King realm level. I'm afraid there's someone else supporting them. Then, I took out a talisman from my pocket. Although its effect was only 1 in a billion, it should be more than enough to deal with a Transcendence realm beast. The talisman immediately turned into a golden light and shot towards the giant rat. The moment the talisman merged with the rat, its eyes turned red, and it let out an angry roar. The lackeys hiding behind the trees screamed in fear as they saw the rat charging towards them. To create chaos in the scene, I shouted directly, "Help! The monster is coming! Big brother, quickly use the key to the secret realm to send us back. I don't want to go to that so-called paradise anymore." With my performance, the other refugees also responded one after another. "Big brother, let us go. Even if we get killed by the Heavenly Demon clan, it will be 10 days later. I don't want to die right now." Upon seeing this, the big brother kicked the people in front of him. "Shut up, all of you. What's there to fear about a rat?" Immediately, he shouted to his men behind him and charged towards the giant rat. "Go and slaughter this beast. Indeed, they are all weaklings. A bunch of Transcendence realm lackeys. Watch me give you some excitement." Then, I transformed directly into a fervent fan of these people. "Big brother, go for it. We're all counting on you." Bayu, who was behind, didn't want to fall behind either. "Go for it, big brother. I love you, big brother." The leader, however, had a ferocious expression on his face. "You damn bastard. It was you who attracted this rat. I'll definitely chop you into minced meat. Then, he reached out and grabbed the two lackeys beside him. In an instant, the life force of those two individuals crazily converged towards the leader as he grabbed them. I didn't expect these weaklings to have this trick up their sleeves. After absorbing the two lackeys, their strength instantly transformed from the Transcendence realm to the Refining Void realm. Not bad. It seems that this alone is not enough to force your puppeteer behind the scenes to reveal themselves. Since that's the case, don't blame me, gentlemen. I directly threw out several talismans, dispersing them around. And those talismans, as if they possessed intelligence, flew towards the hidden monsters in the forest. The people who had just defeated the giant rat finally had a chance to catch their breath. But just as they rested, they heard roars coming from behind. They saw three even more terrifying monsters charging towards them. What's their deal? Why are they coming again? The lackeys beside me urged the leader to come up with a solution. Aren't you invincible, boss? Teach them a lesson quickly. I don't want to die yet. At the next moment, the leader immediately fled. I'm done. You figure it out yourselves. Even if I can't complete the mission, I don't want to die here. Under the torment of the fear of death, he finally broke down. He took out the key to leave the secret realm and pressed it into the indentation. I've worked so hard to cultivate my immortal physique. I don't want to become that creature's food. The ground trembled once again, but instead of the teleportation array to leave the secret realm, a plant with a large mouth appeared. In just one gulp, it swallowed the lackey who had broken through the Refining Void realm. At that moment, the system suddenly sounded, detecting the presence of high-level extraterrestrial organisms, requesting the host to eliminate them as soon as possible. Seeing this, I couldn't help but squint my eyes. So, the puppeteer behind the scenes is actually a mutated man-eating flower? The lackeys, who had lost their backbone, were dumbfounded, constantly calling out the name of their boss. The next second, they became the monster's food. One by one, the refugees scattered in fear, fleeing in all directions. However, in an instant, several tentacles emerged from the ground. Even the strengthened monsters I controlled couldn't escape. I grabbed Baiyu, who was still in place, and narrowly avoided the monster's attack. Seeing the terrifying strength of this monster, Baiyu finally guessed that it was the culprit behind the massacre of the Fox Demon clan. And that man-eating flower even uttered human-like words. Little girl, you're not simple. You were able to see through my plan. And that boy by your side, are you also extraordinary? Daring to manipulate my servant. In the center of the flower, an eye appeared, above which was a strange object, emanating an evil energy. Seeing this, I couldn't help but laugh. This aura couldn't be wrong. That thing must be the so-called ancient artifact. At this moment, the large eye was still unaware of the fear it was about to face, remaining arrogant. How dare you disturb me? What crime do you deserve? I have carefully hunted the Fox clan, intending to absorb the sweet essence of humanity, but you have disrupted my plans. I will make you all die. The deceived refugees also recognized the monster as the Mordor, which had devoured the neighboring Longyang realm. How did that boy provoke it? It's caused our demise. And with a cold expression, I raised my iconic middle finger. In my life, I hate it the most when people show off in front of me. Then a golden light shot out from my fingertips, instantly killing the giant creature in front of me. Congratulations to the host for killing a 5th-level demon beast of the immortal monarch realm. Reward, 10 million domain value. At the same time, Hanshi in the heavenly realm suddenly sensed this energy and opened the display screen of the green peak domain. Such a powerful energy fluctuation. Could it be that boy from before? Then she directly dismissed the screen, thinking that the boy's spiritual power should be even more dominant. Now is not the time to waste time on these matters. At the same time, she looked expectantly at a tall statue. As long as our master descends, that boy will undoubtedly be defeated. Thinking of the scene where she trampled me underfoot afterwards, Hanshi's face showed an expression of infatuation. Baiyu, who has never witnessed my true strength, now has a face full of infatuation. Originally, I thought it would be a fierce battle, but unexpectedly, with a casual wave, I instantly killed the immortal monarch realm of a local overlord. Not only did I defeat the monster, but I also broke through the barrier between the secret realm and reality. And this was just a clone of the young master. Thinking of this, the blush on Bayu's face became even more prominent. It seems that I couldn't comprehend the depth of the senior's strength. And when I think back to the time when the senior educated me, I wonder if I can withstand the senior's intensity this time. As the person involved, I am in distress. Even though I have exerted all my strength to restrain myself, I'm afraid this strike will still be noticed by the Heavenly Demon clan. But using a clone is not impressive if the clone is too weak. And if it's too strong, the Heavenly Demon clan will detect it. Fortunately, things have been progressing relatively smoothly so far. Now, it's just a matter of taking the artifact off his head. Just then, a sudden change occurred, strands of energy continuously converging towards the artifact. The next moment, Mordor's maniacal laughter resounded once again, and in his eyes as he looked at me, there was a hint of fear. I just got killed. It seems, this person is definitely not a good person, and he wants to pry into my life-saving artifact. That's the gift from my old man. Then suddenly, it discovered a crack in front of it. Without hesitation, the arrogant Mordor, who thought he was the chosen one, plunged right into it. There's always a way when there seems to be none. Damn humans, I'll come back to kill you, you doghead. Once I've restored my peak strength, I couldn't help but have a playful interest in this somewhat foolish Mordor. I grabbed hold of his foundation and pulled in the opposite direction. Did I let you go, old man? Then I stepped on Mordor's roots. I'm curious why you're not dead. According to common sense, you should be dead by now. Could it be because of this artifact? As I spoke, the artifact suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Mordor also noticed the change in the artifact and his confidence increased. The first stage of the life-saving artifact has been activated. Now, the invincible Mordor rises again. You brat, don't push your luck too far. I was only interested because I saw some potential in you. I intended to keep you as a pet. Don't think I can't defeat you. I am the highest-ranked race in this realm. I cannot be killed, but I couldn't help but laugh. Does this guy even know what he's saying? Seeing me silent, Mordor became even more excited. So you're human, and you're scared by this. This guy probably hasn't seen what it means to die and come back to life. I can use this to scare him and lure the elders of his tribe to come and kill him together. Bayou on the side is full of worry. If we can't kill it, we can't get the artifact. What should we do? We're stuck in a dead end. But I put on my signature smile again. How could that be? Upon hearing my words, Mordor had a disdainful expression on his face. You idiot. I'm invincible. You better face reality. In response to this idiot's provocation, I silently extended my middle finger. In an instant, Mordor, who was just feeling proud, turned into ashes. Congratulations to the host for killing the immortal Monarch Realm's 5th-level demon creature. Reward, 10 million domain value. As Mordor died, the artifact once again shone with a dazzling light. Target has revived. Mordor's arrogant voice appeared once again. I told you, you can't kill me, you fool. As I witnessed this scene, a cold smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. Get comfortable, my precious experience baby. Before Mordor could say anything else, he turned into ashes once again, exploding fiercely. To make this game more interesting, I directly took out my little hammer from the system's storage and embarked on my path of furious vengeance. Congratulations to the host for killing the 5th-level immortal Monarch Realm. Reward, 10 million domain value. Target has revived. Reward, 10 million domain value. Bayou also equipped the treasure I gave him, and began an intense and thrilling whack-a-mole game. Under my powerful and rhythmic hammer strikes, the onlookers screamed in excitement. For a moment, it was hard to tell who the real demon was, and I had already completely lost myself in the wonderful sound of system notifications. Is this what it feels like to cheat in a game? It's simply amazing. 2 hours later, Mordor's healing time had noticeably slowed down, and there were scattered blue beads all over the ground. The host has gained a total of 500 million domain value. Looking at Mordor still struggling, I couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed. Why doesn't this work anymore? I feel like I can still grind. Seeing Mordor, who was even struggling to heal, I reluctantly reached out towards the artifact, only to be surprised to find that, as he said, the artifact couldn't be forcibly removed. So, I shifted my gaze to the scattered beads on the ground, and asked the system to detect what exactly this thing is. Detected 50 Cloud Ring pills. The effect is the same as the incinerating immortal pill. 1 pill can be exchanged for 10,000 domain value. Upon hearing the system's explanation, I picked up 1 pill and carefully examined it. I didn't expect to find treasures while grinding monsters. If it weren't for Mordor's slow revival now, I feel like I could grind another 100 times. With this in mind, I threw it towards Bayou. Bayou, try eating it and see the effects. Bayou, who caught the pill, didn't hesitate and put it into her mouth. He sat in front of a tree and began to absorb the spiritual energy contained in the pill. Meanwhile, I stared coldly at the surrounding forest and said, "Come out, all of you." Upon hearing my words, the refugees hiding at the tree trunks came out one by one. I can protect you guys, and also give you the power to fight against the Heavenly Demon Clan. The price is that you must serve me. Upon hearing my request, the refugees not only didn't find it excessive, but were instead excited. I'm willing. As long as it makes me stronger, I'm willing to give my life." Seeing the refugees in front of me, I grinned and expressed my agreement, while taking out the blue pills I had just obtained. If you eat this pill, you will complete the first step to becoming stronger. Zhao Si, the servant, broke through to the Triple Foundation Establishment realm. Zhang San, the servant, broke through to the First Foundation realm. The power of these mortals before me continued to skyrocket, seemingly without an end. It wasn't until 3 hours later that Bayu's aura kept changing, and the attribute panel showed Bayu's intimacy level as 4 stars. Her cultivation level was now at the half-immortal stage. Detected the contract follower, Bayu, with changes in cultivation, about to break through from the half-immortal stage to the immortal soldier stage. I looked at the information panel that popped up in front of me and was slightly surprised. I didn't expect this functionality after the system upgrade to version 5.0. It will be much more convenient to check someone's information next time. There's no need for another detection. At this moment, Bayu's face turned red. Because of the restrictions of the Green Peak Domain's Heavenly Tao, cultivation cannot progress. If this continues, it will only result in a burst body and death. The only solution is to cultivate together with me to stabilize the spiritual power. Just as Bayu was preparing to seize this opportunity to completely conquer me, the spiritual energy within her body unexpectedly began to slowly flow back, continuously disappearing. At the same time, the domain value she had just obtained started decreasing continuously. Seeing this, I angrily exclaimed at the system, "What's wrong with you, damn system? Why is the domain value constantly decreasing?" Just then, that familiar voice sounded again, "In the name of Sealing, Secret Realm." Suddenly, the few people who were just swallowed by Mordor, including myself, appeared outside the secret realm once again. The person in charge, the person at the front, looked as if they had seen a ghost, asked, "Why are you here?" At the same time, they pointed towards the other me and asked, "What's going on here?" The other me also had a bewildered look. "I want to know what's going on too." At that moment, I suddenly looked back, only to find that the artifact attached to Mordor had disappeared. My domain value deduction and Bayu's reversed cultivation progress are likely related to the sudden disappearance of the artifact. A terrifying thought exploded in my mind. Perhaps resurrection is not the only ability of that artifact, but it possesses a more troublesome power. What exactly is it? Within the upper bounds, Feng Qiyun is shuttling through the various immortal realms in search of divine artifacts. Just then, Feng Qiyun suddenly stopped. There was a trace of the heavenly demon clan's aura. Immediately, he turned into a golden light and flew towards that place. Upon landing, he immediately used the concealment technique. Looking at everything in front of him, his pupils contracted. Is this the frontline battlefield between the heavenly demon and the upper bounds, and those strange-looking demon races inside? Even the weakest among them are at the immortal revered realm, with many immortal emperor realm experts guarding the battlefield. Even if my disciples come here, it will be a fierce battle. At this moment, a deputy commander with horns on his head, who was at the domain lord realm, was holding a woman with tattered clothes, and the woman in front of him, trembling all over, like a little chick. "Please spare me. As long as you spare me, I'm willing to give everything for you. I can offer my body to assist you in cultivation." Just then, a demon god wearing golden armor walked out. "Nonsense. Kill her." Without any hesitation, the deputy commander who received the order directly crushed the woman. And this indifferent man is the commander of the 3rd Legion of the Heavenly Demon at the Domain Lord Realm. Seeing this, Feng Qiyun was filled with anger and resentment. In order to save more people, Feng Qiyun could only endure silently. Now there are only 8 days left. Finding the divine artifact is the most important task. Remember the landmarks here first, and then annihilate them when meeting with my disciple. As for these people, they can only save themselves. 15 minutes later, Kong Ming calmly spoke. "The formation point here has been set up. Now, we only need the 5th Legion to set up the formation point to welcome the arrival of our master." Di Jiang was shocked to hear this. Han Shi is too cunning. After setting up the first formation point, she stuck close to our master. She really has no shame. Just then, a subordinate hurriedly ran over in a panic. "Commander, we just received news. Your son, Mordor, his demonic disc is on the verge of collapse, and he is in a life-threatening situation." Di Jiang stood up abruptly upon hearing this. Doesn't Mordor have the ancestral artifact given by the commander? That was taken from a powerful member of the Heavenly God clan in the ancient continent by the commander. How could he be in a life-threatening situation? Could it be that the artifact's divine consciousness still remains? Did it make contact with someone from the Heavenly God clan? The subordinate quickly said. There's only one person whose strength is close to the immortal emperor realm. Upon hearing this, Kong Ming's expression darkened. Only one person? You have quite the courage. Suddenly, Di Jiang on the side spoke up. "Commander, let me lead a team to rescue young Master Mordor. It just so happens that I only need one more immortal emperor soul for my soul-devouring demon god technique. Let's use him as a sacrifice." Upon hearing this, Kong Ming's face had already become ferocious. "Go ahead. It would be best if you can capture that kid alive. I want to see who dares to touch my son." Inside the Green Peak domain, pairs of people who look exactly the same are tearing each other apart. fake imitations wearing my skin. Watch as I tear your face apart. Seeing the scene in front of them, the leader's forehead was covered in cold sweat. What the hell is going on here? How did two identical people suddenly appear? I understand now. This must be part of Lord Mordor's plan. Here, Lord Mordor is an invincible godlike existence. He must be toying with these people, and then devouring them all. With this thought in mind, he waved his hand towards the crowd. All of you little creatures, shut up. Listen to me carefully. Whether you're real or fake, you're all going to die today. The men will be used as nourishment, and the women will bear our children, especially that one with white hair. I want to have over a dozen with you. Just then, Mordor suddenly descended from the sky and appeared by my side. I was wrong. Big brother, please spare me, or just give me a quick death. I beg you. The subordinate who was just acting all tough suddenly looked dumbfounded. Is this submissive creature really Lord Mordor? Before they could react, Mordor whipped them away with a single lash, while revealing a face full of servility. My lord, look, I've taken care of the troublesome individuals for you. Looking at the well-behaved Mordor, I approached him and narrowed my eyes, examining him. I happen to have something to ask you. After a friendly conversation, I learned from Mordor that the first ability of the artifact is resurrection. The carrier will be reassembled and restored to their previous healthy state at the moment of death. However, there are certain limitations to the recovery. The recovery time will gradually increase. Initially, it's 5 seconds. The second ability is time reversal. It can reverse a certain space-time back to a specific point in the past. Bayu's sudden regression in cultivation after promotion was due to the influence of time reversal, and the problem lies here. Based on the previous time regression, I should have returned to the moment I arrived in the Green Peak domain. But now, except for 500 million domain value that remains, everything else has reverted to the initial state. The spatial transfer hasn't changed, but there's an extra me. With this in mind, I smirked and looked at the other me. The imposter has quite the audacity. The other me directly made my favorite friendly gesture towards me. Doesn't the imposter have any sense of self-awareness regarding this arrogant fellow who's just like me? I couldn't help but feel a bit excited, playing the game of real and fake Monkey Kings with me. You're too low. Saying that, I clashed head-on with the imposter. Unexpectedly, this guy not only imitated my face, but also copied my skills. With this realization, I no longer held back. A golden light condensed in my hand, ready to teach him a lesson, and the aftermath of our battle continued to emanate from the forest. Mordor, who was watching from the side, was trembling in fear. Damn it, these two lunatics are fighting each other without holding back. Watching the appearance of our battle, Mordor widened his eyes. No wonder this child was able to easily subdue me. So he was playing the trick of pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. This kind of power can even rival Di Jian. Without the artifact, I might be killed by the aftermath of these two lunatics. I must quickly retrieve the artifact nearby. Because our strength and techniques are almost identical, it's difficult to determine the winner for now. I suddenly proposed changing the approach to verify it. The verification method is simple. Ask me a question, and for fairness, Bayu will ask the same question to both of us. As soon as the two Bayus heard this, they became interested. They answered in unison. That would be disrespectful to the seniors. The first question, seniors, do you like Bayu? Not answering is considered agreement. Oh, if the answer is wrong, it means both seniors are fake. Hearing this, both of us quickly said we should try a different approach. The two Bayus asked again, seniors, what is the most flamboyant and embarrassing thing you have ever done? Facing Bayu's tricky question, both of us looked as if we had eaten shit. I once imitated Lu Mingfei and swept through the strong in the Interstellar. Upon hearing this, the two Bayus not only didn't feel embarrassed, but rather got excited, saying they love such seniors. Meanwhile, we felt extremely awkward, but the two Bayus didn't intend to stop there. Instead, they seized the opportunity and continued to ask, how many women admired the senior in the past? Have the two seniors ever practiced dual cultivation with others? Is the taste of dual cultivation as beautiful as described in books? Hearing this, I quickly interrupted. These questions are not suitable for children. Then both of us awkwardly laughed. We don't need to ask anymore. We have already confirmed if we are good brothers or not. Otherwise, we would have to admit that we have been virgins for over 20 years in front of them, and exchange experiences while Bayu is dumbfounded. On the other side, Di Jiang has already led a large number of troops to the outside of the barrier. Di Jiang suddenly bursts into wild laughter. Smash this barrier for me. I can't wait to see those scum kneeling and begging for mercy. Inside the Fox Spirit secret realm at this moment, a heart-wrenching scream suddenly resounds. Damn humans, you actually used me. Seeing the artifact in hand, my mood has greatly improved. I have to thank you for helping me find the artifact. Otherwise, if I were to find it myself, it would probably take a lot of effort. Even Mordor has now realized what's going on. Could it be that all your previous fights were just pretending for my sake? At the same time, I heard the sound of space being torn behind me. Realizing that a powerful enemy appeared outside the barrier, I quickly alerted the other clone. In the next moment, two black arms tore through the void, and a tall figure walked out slowly. He stared at me with his lone eye. "Is it you, trash? Who dared to move the young master of Mordor?" Hearing someone calling his name, hope ignited in Mordor's heart once again. It turned out to be Elder Di Jiang, who possesses the strength of a domain lord. "I can live again." And in front of me, he loudly pleaded for help from Di Jiang. Looking at the two identical versions of me, Di Jiang sneered, "Why is there another annoying bug?" But it doesn't matter. In the face of the demon army that appeared before me, I smirked. This is a blessing in disguise. It seems I can accumulate a large amount of domain value again. However, what surprised me was that Mordor was still a big fish, able to make a domain lord personally come to his rescue, without waiting for Di Jiang to make a move. His subordinates behind him were eager to get started. "Lord Di Jiang, there's no need for you to deal with these two wastes. Such lowly creatures are better left for us to handle. Their souls will be offered to you, Lord." Seeing his subordinates so eager, Di Jiang burst into laughter. "Then go and tear them apart for me. Make them regret setting foot in this world." My two clones grinned, hands clasped together, and then unleashed the mighty dragon roar of the twin heavens. The divine power of the true dragon quickly tore through the small fry who threatened to chop us up and feed us to the dogs. One delightful notification after another resounded. "Congratulations, host, for killing the immortal venerable. You are rewarded with 150 million domain value, 2 domain fragments, and 5 salted fish treasure chests." Mordor, who had just been fantasizing about escaping, was frightened to the core. What kind of monsters did I provoke? One move to kill several immortal venerables and immortal emperors. Can I really make it back alive? With that in mind, Mordor made a run for it directly, muttering curses as he fled. This artifact is an idiot. Dealing with one is already enough. Now there are 2 of them. At this rate, after Di Jiang is dealt with, the next one will be him. Even Di Jiang, at this moment, was completely shocked by the scene before him. I've lived for so many years and have never seen such a person. The key is, what the fuck? Is he a cultivator from the mortal realm, watching us in the battlefield, like gods of slaughter? Di Jiang deeply regretted his actions. The elite forces he cultivated for thousands of years are all finished now. That's an existence that can easily conquer any domain in the mortal realm. Realizing the severity of the situation, Di Jiang immediately turned around. "It's impossible for me alone to defeat these 2 lunatics. This matter must be reported to the commander." I was also surprised to see that the duck that was about to reach my mouth wanted to run away. Is this it? I still have many important things to ask. With that in mind, I greeted the other clone. "I'll go deal with this big fat sheep first." Just as Di Jiang was about to escape from this troublesome place, he suddenly froze. Looking at the extra arm on his shoulder, his body began to tremble uncontrollably. What the hell is this thing? How did it happen so quickly? Meanwhile, I was smiling and staring at the fool in front of me. "Why are you running? Weren't you arrogant just now? Give it another try if you dare." Seeing that the situation was irreparable, Di Jiang had no choice but to fight head-on. Although he couldn't handle both of us, dealing with one was more than enough. He immediately unleashed his renowned skill, the Palm of 10,000 Souls. I couldn't help but worry about this guy's intelligence. Just raising my hand in front of me, that giant palm produced a powerful roar when it collided with me. The next moment, the giant palm shattered and fell apart before the immense power. Seeing that his moves were useless, Di Jiang immediately prepared to continue running, and I mercilessly appeared beside him in an instant, raising my leg and blocking his path with a kick. Looking at Di Jiang being kicked to the ground by me, I chuckled. "Why the hell do you love running so much? Are all members of the Heavenly Demon Clan like you, worthless?" At the same time, I raised my hand and a golden light shot out. "I want to see if you can still run after being pierced through by it." Di Jiang felt the intense pain in his abdomen and let out a painful scream. I shouldn't have opened my mouth too much and gone out on this trip. The other clones saw that I was showing off and became interested. "Why is the heavenly demon of the Domain Lord realm so weak? And also, your one young finger was different from before. Why is its power so impressive? What's going on here?" Upon hearing his confusion, I also looked at my own finger. Instead of saying that the power has become stronger, it's more like I felt a double critical strike. While I was pondering, I felt a warmth in my chest. The artifact unexpectedly flew out of my embrace on its own. As it flew out, it transformed into a humanoid form in front of me. Soon, a naked woman appeared in front of my face, and she even referred to me as a young hero. Seeing the green figure in front of me, I had a bold guess. Could it be that you are the weapon spirit? It is said that the weapon spirit is the guardian spirit hidden within a magical weapon. It is said that this type of weapon spirit is rare and hard to come by. The next moment, the weapon spirit transformed by the artifact dove into my embrace. She shouted and begged me for help. Seeing this scene, Bayu immediately rushed over, shouting for me to stay away from this weapon spirit. If she gets close to you, she'll take you away. Obviously, Bayu's words were too late. The next moment, just as Bayu said, I was taken away by the weapon spirit. Looking at the empty ground, Bayu's heart turned cold. Elder. Not only that, both the other clone and the other Bayu disappeared without a trace. And in my drowsiness, it seemed like I heard a gentle voice, repeating a name over and over again, Lang Jun. Upon hearing the call, I slowly opened my eyes, only to be greeted by an unfamiliar place I had never seen before. Could this be the immortal realm? While I was contemplating, a jade hand suddenly poked my cheek. Lang Jun, you were the one who said you wanted to have a passionate night with me, but how come you fell asleep as soon as we got in bed? Looking at the green-haired figure appearing in front of me, I was almost frightened. What the hell? Who is this? Could it be that damn weapon spirit playing tricks on me? That person actively invited me to have a passionate night. Changshi looked at my shy appearance, thinking that I was playing a teasing game. She extended her index finger and lightly tapped my lips. I had no words for such a freebie move. Just as I was about to lose control, my inner voice shouted, System, come out quickly. The system heard my call and promptly responded in my ear. Host, don't be afraid. I've been by your side all along. You can rest assured and enjoy. Congratulations, host, on soon bidding farewell to your virgin status. Upon hearing the system's response, I felt somewhat relieved. But what's the situation now? Why am I in such a strange place? Before I could continue asking, Changshi's jade hand struck again, simultaneously pressing me down. Lang Jun, why aren't you answering me? While speaking, she sat up once more and asked if I wanted to try some new and exciting positions, while generously informing me that she would accompany me in exploring any level of difficulty. Then, Changshi directly slid her hand from my chest downwards. Let's continue what we didn't finish earlier. Facing this audacious woman in front of me, I forcefully pulled her arm to the side. I think we've been too hasty with this matter. How about we find another time to meet? Upon hearing my response, Changshi actually covered her cheeks and laughed. Then she asked me if I really didn't understand or if I was pretending, while reaching out and grabbing my neck, pressing me against the edge of the bed. In a cold tone, she interrogated, why do I keep saying this sentence, daring to use the same excuse 3 times in a row to stand her up? Are you playing games with me? Hearing this, I felt despair in my heart. What 3 times? I clearly only said it once. I don't have that memory at all. And this woman changes her attitude too quickly. Just when I was at a loss, a voice interrupted. Stop. The time in the entire room eerily came to a halt at that moment. Sensing the change in space, I was slightly stunned. Time froze. At this moment, a person dressed in vibrant green suddenly walked out from behind me. So, it was you. The weapon spirit showed no surprise, instead expressing appreciation. You truly deserve it. Her abilities are actually ineffective against me. Before I could say anything, the system suddenly appeared and fiercely exclaimed, how dare a measly weapon spirit show off in front of us? Such inferior methods are nothing in my presence. Finishing the statement, the system couldn't help but add that it was the true expert in this regard. Before the system could finish speaking, I kicked it abruptly. It can't even tell who the boss is, yet it dares to show off here. Seeing me remain silent, the weapon spirit trembled and apologized to me. Time is limited. She quickly explained the situation to me. The weapon spirit then began to narrate. Millions of years ago, the heavenly demon and the heavenly god were still in a period of uncertain rupture in their contract. And the place we are currently in is the southeastern country of the ancient continent, Sui Ming country. It is the homeland of the weapon spirit and its master, as well as the first kingdom destroyed during the great ancient war that erupted 3 days later. And my actions here will have an impact on the future development, which is also the third ability of the weapon spirit, time and space traversal. The reason I can appear here is because the weapon spirit helped me possess a male pet related to its master, allowing him to exist in this dimension. As the words were spoken, a golden energy instantly surged into my mind. Soon, I realized that these were the memories of the original host's body. The original host's name is Chinchanan, just like mine, and he also had the same frustration of being unable to cultivate immortality. However, because of possessing a handsome appearance, he became an unscrupulous scoundrel. It was for this reason that when he encountered the master of the weapon spirit, they fell in love at first sight. They subsequently embarked on the great mission of procreation. However, every time they were intimate, former admirers would come and cause trouble, and the original host would always find an excuse to escape. Just now was their 3rd date with the master of the weapon spirit. With these thoughts, I finally understood everything. No wonder that woman was so angry. It turns out she had been stood up twice. Thinking of this, I summoned the system once again. Upon hearing my summons, the system became extremely dissatisfied, saying that I only remember it at times like this, but it still informed me that the negative effects of traditional possession would not affect the host, and I could freely use the power of the domain lord. Upon hearing the system's explanation, I unusually praised it for doing a good job. Upon hearing my praise, the system became nervous, saying it was the first time it had heard me praise it after being together for so long. Seeing me sighing, Weapon Spirit, who was standing by, quickly asked if it was because she interrupted our intimacy. She assured me that there was no need to worry, as after the time pause ends, we can continue with the unfinished matters. I was almost choked by Weapon Spirit's words, warning her not to mistake me for someone with such lustful intentions. In the next moment, Weapon Spirit told me that if I refused, there would be other handsome men lining up for its master. Hearing this, I was stunned. I didn't realize this woman was someone who enjoys toying with men. I exclaimed that I'm a simple person and one wife is enough for me. Unable to hold back, Weapon Spirit sighed, saying that her master has a total of 232 male pets, and I am the 233rd. Her master intended to have a fair share of love, but happened to be fond of me exclusively. Upon hearing Weapon Spirit's words, I silently criticized, wondering if she brought me here just to chat about these things. Just then, Weapon Spirit spoke slowly, revealing that her master will die again in 3 days. Her own existence is to protect her master, and all her abilities are designed to preserve her master's life. However, she failed to protect her properly, and no matter what she does, the ultimate outcome is watching her master die before her eyes, time and time again. As Weapon Spirit reached this point, tears filled her eyes, and she earnestly begged me to save her master. As an exchange, she promised to serve me as her master in the future, to be my servant and do my bidding. I didn't directly answer Weapon Spirit's plea. First, she is a weapon spirit, and saving her master wouldn't make her mine. Second, she is the guardian of time, and she belongs to her master. In other words, she could easily send me back once she achieves her goals. Weapon Spirit suddenly erupted, declaring that she wouldn't gamble with her only chance. I smiled slightly at this emotional and loyal Weapon Spirit. Though I don't know if what you're saying is true or not, I have accepted your request. Weapon Spirit seemed surprised by my response, and tears uncontrollably welled up in the corners of her eyes. What she didn't know was that just now the system received a new mission, which is to help the goddess Chang-Shi overcome her fate's ordeal. Completing the mission will reward 500 million domain value, and 2 permanent time roll cards. Facing such mission rewards, even I would find it difficult to refuse. Weapon Spirit, however, mistook all of this for my generosity, and told me that I only have 3 days. And now that 3 days have passed, another 3 days will pass in the future. After saying this, Weapon Spirit left with the words, "The assessment begins." Then she disappeared before my eyes. In the instant when time resumed its flow, I grabbed Chang-Shi's arm with both hands, and, contrary to my usual behavior, rushed towards her. How could I bear to deceive you? I haven't even had a chance to cherish you. Chang-Shi was astonished by my reaction, unable to believe what had happened in that brief moment. But I didn't give her a chance to ponder, and continued to increase my output. I just thought I wasn't in a good state earlier, and couldn't give you the best experience. Upon hearing my sincere confession, Chang-Shi forgave me, and prepared to reward me with the greatest pleasure. After saying that, she leaned in towards me, inviting me to go home and meet her parents, promising to treat me well in the future. In my heart, I silently apologized to Jiang Xianchu. Seeing that I remained silent, Chang-Shi spoke again. "There's no time to waste. Let's go now." Before Chang-Shi could finish speaking, a huge explosion suddenly occurred above the roof. A white-haired woman wielding a sword shouted that she would kill Chang-Shi. Faced with the white-haired woman, Chang-Shi, instead of getting angry at the interruption, adopted a surrendering posture, signaling her junior sister not to be so furious. Little did she know that the white-haired woman possessed immense combat power, and cursed Chang-Shi for stealing her servant. Seeing this person, my heart tightened. Isn't she the woman from the Heavenly Demon Clan? I never expected that she and Chang-Shi were fellow disciples tens of millions of years ago. But in the next moment, Han-Shi grabbed my collar. You confessed to me and then slept with another woman." This sudden turn of events left my brain struggling to process. Before I could react, Han-Shi forcefully dragged me into the void. Meanwhile, Chang-Shi remained in place, watching her junior sister's departing figure with a faint smile. "It's not a good habit for my junior sister to be fixated on what's mine," she murmured. Leaving Chang-Shi's chamber, Han-Shi brought me to the territory of the demon realm. Seeing Han-Shi remain silent, I hurriedly spoke. "Give me a chance to explain. I never expected that I would encounter a love triangle after crossing over." Han-Shi's face no longer had the impulsive look of a young girl. Instead, she looked at me with seriousness. "Stop pretending. This is the territory of the Heavenly Demon Clan." Chang-Shi couldn't catch up. "Now, explain to me why you didn't complete the task I gave you." I originally thought I was just an ordinary male lead by Chang Shi's side, but it turns out I was actually a spy sent by Han Shi to be by Chang Shi's side. Later, I discovered in the original host's memories that the witch Han Shi had taken the original host as a servant a long time ago. This operation was intended to steal an artifact. The original plan was to steal it while Chang Shi was in a trance, but my possession of the body interrupted the original host's performance, resulting in the failure of the plan. Han Shi, however, was completely unaware of my intentions. Could it be that not only did I fail to obtain the artifact, but I am also preparing to play for real? Seeing the murderous look in Han Shi's eyes, I quickly waved my hands, denying it. Everything went according to my plan, but Han Shi sensed something was wrong in my words. You are different from before. You spent some time with Chang Shi, and even though you didn't take anything, you learned to act innocent. Sensing Han Shi's change, I transformed my hands into claws and grabbed towards Han Shi. Until I gather enough information, I must try to keep the situation as it is. I must take down this woman. And then, I directly reached out into the vast universe. In that moment, it felt like I had grown a lot and gained many secrets about the universe. My nose started to bleed, and I pressed my face directly against Han Shi's. I must act like the original host, never making such a low-level mistake again. Under my rubbing, Han Shi's mouth corners began to tremble slightly. Her cheeks turned red. Pervert, you're dead now, and this is our extremely ordinary way of interacting, Han Shi and I. In order to completely dispel Han Shi's vigilance, I reached out towards her waist with one hand. I'm willing to brave the tiger's den for you. Han Shi, due to my cheesy actions, became flustered like a startled deer. She quickly asked me to let go, saying there's something important to attend to, but I had no intention of letting go in the slightest. Instead, I had a face full of enjoyment. This is not about being lewd, but replicating the way the original host interacted with Han Shi. Let me bear the consequences of all this. The system, upon hearing this, looked at me with disdain. I asked you to imitate, not to surpass. Pa. After a sweet moment, Han Shi brought me to the streets of Sui Ming country. When the demons on the street saw Han Shi, they all showed expressions of contempt. This woman has the audacity to come back. Not only did she mingle in the divine realm, but she also mixed with lowly humans. Disgusting. Suddenly, a stone was thrown towards Han Shi. Ugly woman. But Han Shi didn't care at all and continued walking forward. It seemed she was accustomed to this kind of situation. The child who threw the stone at Han Shi continued to curse at her. However, this action was reprimanded by a woman next to him. Why did you provoke her? Bad luck. On the other hand, Han Shi remained unfazed. It seems she's not doing well in the demon realm either. Sensing my gaze, Han Shi became angry. Are your eyes asking for trouble? Before long, I followed Han Shi to a tent guarded by soldiers. Han Shi turned her head and told me to wait here for her return. Don't cause trouble, or even she won't be able to protect me. I heard her words of concern and quickly waved my hand to show that I understood, continuously sending flirtatious glances his way. Just as Han Shi turned around, I immediately put on a smile of a good man, turned around, and ran towards the depths of the demon clan. Since I've come this far, there's no way I'll wait obediently. The information provided by the artifact is just too limited. Now I only know that this is the ancient continent from millions of years ago. A great war will break out in 3 days, and I must save that girl during the war, in order to obtain the artifact and become its master. After groping around for a while, I arrived at a place filled with fire and heat. A demon with a horse-like face was frantically pounding his weapon, while other demons were engaged in pairs, practicing and sparring. It seems the demon clan has prepared for war, training their soldiers and horses, and my mission is simply to keep her alive. Although this task is relatively easy, I still don't understand how this continent operates, the strength of the heavenly demon generals, and what I can achieve here. Just as I was contemplating, 2 demons suddenly noticed my presence. Isn't this the little pet raised by Han Shi? Without a word, they launched an attack against me. Their reason for attacking me was that I took their leader, Black Evil's woman. Before the little devil could continue attacking me, a tall and burly guy stepped forward and spoke slowly. Even if we kill this kid directly, that little brat Han Shi wouldn't dare to say a word. Facing the extremely ugly guy in front of me, my expression turned cold, and I leisurely replied with one word, "Oh." Meanwhile, Han Shi was also in a difficult situation. Due to not completing her mission, she received a harsh slap from a seemingly malnourished palm. The owner of the palm was their clan leader, Aruko. At this moment, he was angrily questioning Han Shi. Do you know how important that artifact is to our plans? Since you didn't bring back the artifact, why did you come back? Then he turned around and walked towards his position as clan leader. You're someone who is more likely to cause trouble than accomplish anything. Upon hearing the clan leader's reprimand, Han Shi did not retort. Instead, she humbly pleaded with the clan leader. If, after I die, I can have a memorial tablet in the clan, A red-haired elder on the side said to Han Shi with a sigh of frustration, "You are the son of the deceased hero. Although the clan has prejudice against you, they also hold great hope for you. But you, Sai," the three-eyed elder beside him had a fierce expression, "now the immortal clan is suppressing us everywhere. If it weren't for our defeat by the heavenly god clan thousands of years ago, how could we end up like this?" The clan leader in the center questioned Han Shi again. "I've said it before. That human you raised can't help me. He has no cultivation and is foolish. He should have been stewed in a pot long ago." Han Shi didn't go along with the clan leader's intentions, but instead took full responsibility for this operation, and hoped that the clan leader would spare my life. Upon hearing Han Shi's words, the clan leader directly threw the cane symbolizing power in his hand at Han Shi, and berated her as an obstinate person. "My heavenly demon clan has always been clear about rewards and punishments. If I don't teach you a lesson today, it seems it won't work." Seeing the clan leader so angry, the red-haired elder made a suggestion. "There is a young man in the clan named Black Evil who recently broke through to the Demon King realm. It happens that he needs a strong clan member to help him consolidate his vitality. Let's assign this girl to him." Upon hearing the words of the red-haired elder, everyone involuntarily revealed a meaningful smile. But to Han Shi, it was like a bolt from the blue. She never expected to be treated as a plaything and given to someone else as a reward. Just then, a little demon shouted. Something bad happened, and he revealed the news of Black Evil's sudden death. In the corner of the martial arena, the body of Lord Black Evil was found, and his followers, Big Black and Second Black, also met a tragic end. No one saw what happened. Upon hearing this news, the clan leader completely exploded, shouting with wide eyes, "Investigate this matter for me." At the same time, he ordered the two elders beside him to strengthen the guards. Not even a fly should be allowed to escape. Everyone should be on high alert. We must find the killer. Meanwhile, Han Shi quietly left while the leader was speaking, and she quickly walked towards the direction where I was just thrown down, worried that this foolish idiot me would be involved. After dealing with the guy who tried to steal my woman, I returned to the previous location early, and warmly greeted Han Shi, who had hurriedly arrived. Seeing me still lively and energetic, Han Shi's anxious heart finally calmed down, and she immediately grabbed my wrist, ready to leave this troublesome place. Seeing her urgency, I asked her where we were going. While running quickly, Han Shi told me that we had to return to Sui-Ming country. After all, the mission wasn't completed yet. Inside Sui-Ming country, the people all looked in the same direction at the same time, because Sui-Ming country is located at the boundary between the immortal and demon realms. Sui-Ming country, originally known as Sui-Ming Canyon, is the meeting point of the immortal and demon realms. In the previous Immortal Demon War, when the demon clan was about to invade the immortal realm, the heavenly god and ancient savage beasts forcibly suppressed them, sealing the ancient demon lord and tens of thousands of demons here. After the war, the surviving humans and the exiled immortal clan established a nation here. However, the demonic energy seeping out from the abyss constantly eroded the seal, and the demon lord never gave up on breaking it. As the Spring Maiden, the purification ritual has gradually increased from once every few months to once daily. Therefore, the surviving residents couldn't help but sigh sincerely. In the realm between the immortal and demon realms, if it weren't for the goddess purifying the demonic energy day and night, I dare not imagine the kind of life we would be living now. Chang Shi, the only one who can balance the demon lord, muttered to himself, "With my divine power, I cleanse the land in all directions, eradicate all demonic calamities and evils." Looking at Chang Shi's sacred appearance, the residents of Sui-Ming country couldn't help but pray at this moment. "Spring Maiden, bless the world, dispel the evil spirits, and bring forth the spring sunshine." Hearing the prayers coming from below, Chang Shi, as the person involved, couldn't help but feel exasperated. "These people are really annoying," she shouted to the guards behind her. "Evacuate the people. I've already said that the front square should be cleared every time the demonic energy is purified. No gathering of the people is allowed." After doing all this, Chang Shi's expression became serious. "Today, the demonic energy doesn't feel right. I hope nothing bad happens." Listening to Chang Shi's muttering, the grumbling old man, who was given the order, complained while picking his nose. "This Spring Maiden is too sensitive. It's not like the demon lord is charging in every day. It's troublesome to deal with. A major purification every 10 days, a minor purification every 3 days. Why so many tasks? If the people enjoy watching, just let them." At this moment, a burst of violent demonic energy suddenly erupted behind him. Then, with a worried expression, he looked back. Could something really be wrong? In that instant of demonic energy eruption, cracks spread outward from the palace. The people on the square became chaotic due to extreme fear. It was at this time that a little girl accidentally fell into one of the cracks, but none of the other people noticed what happened here. Only the girl's helpless mother shouted loudly towards the depths of the crack. Faced with this situation, Chang Shi shouted for everyone not to panic. and she called upon the immortals from Sui Ming country to assist her. As long as she held on for 15 minutes, she could seal it. However, the immortals behind Chang-Shi lazily sat on the ground, motionless, and informed Chang-Shi that they had exhausted all their energy in resisting the demonic energy. They requested the Spring Maiden to enter the formation and repair the seal first. Hearing the words of the immortals, Chang-Shi was filled with astonishment, because those immortals clearly had abundant power. Feeling disheartened, Chang-Shi didn't expose them, and asked them to protect the people instead. Alone, she walked into the endless abyss. After seeing the Spring Maiden leave, those people showed expressions of disdain on their faces. In their view, Chang-Shi alone could handle such trivial matters. There was no need to trouble them. They even discussed whether or not to go to a restaurant to relax later. After all the troublesome matters could easily be handled by the Spring Maiden. Only she could seal the Demon Lord. Inside the abyss, the Demon Lord once again greeted Chang-Shi enthusiastically. "We meet again, little girl from the Heavenly God clan. It has been a shorter time since you set foot here last. The next time will be the day of my rebirth." Speaking of this, the Demon Lord bursts into mad laughter. Chang-Shi shows no fear and stares at the Demon Lord, calmly speaking, "As long as I'm here, I will never allow you to go out and harm the mortal realm again." At this moment, the Demon Lord laughs even more recklessly. He boldly states that Chang-Shi is merely a puppet sent by the Heavenly God clan. In just 3 days, he will surely return to his former glory above the 9 heavens. By then, there will be no one in this world who can stop me, and then you will understand that everything you can save is nothing more than a whim of mine. Meanwhile, the Demon Lord throws the little girl who had just fallen into the abyss. Without any hesitation, Chang-Shi rushes forward upon seeing the girl. Despite knowing that this is a trap set by the Demon Lord, she resolutely throws herself at the girl. As expected, the moment Chang-Shi lunges towards the girl, a pitch-black demonic energy pierces through her body. But the attack is far from over. Multiple black-haired tentacles appear in the air, penetrating Chang-Shi's body simultaneously. Seeing Chang-Shi's miserable state, the Demon Lord can't help but laugh heartily. "How many times have I killed you, just to save these insignificant ants? But you're reaching your limit, aren't you?" Hearing this mockery, Chang-Shi grits her teeth in pain and lifts her head. "As long as I'm alive, you can't kill a single person, and you can't step out of here." Then, the power representing the breath of life bursts out from within Chang-Shi. With the support of her artifact and her own abilities, that green light continuously surges into the pillar sealing the Demon Lord. Seeing the seal strengthened once again, the Demon Lord shows no anger and bursts into mad laughter. "No one can stop me. The war is about to begin. I'm truly looking forward to it." Outside the seal, because Chang-Shi once again seals the Demon Lord, the surging demonic energy slowly dissipates under Chang-Shi's power. Feeling the rich vitality, the people once again become excited, chanting continuously that the goddess saved us. And the little girl who was just engulfed by the abyss returns to her mother's side. With a dull expression, she stares at her mother. The goddess is dead, but her words are rebuked by her mother. The goddess cannot die, and the artifact has officially activated. Pure life energy flows, repairing Chang-Shi's body. After sealing the Demon Lord once again, the ruler of Sui Ming country happily claps his thigh. In Sui Ming country, having a goddess is a great fortune in 3 lifetimes. The people are fortunate. One by one, the courtiers show flattering expressions and echo his sentiments. "As long as we have the goddess, ancient demons are nothing to fear." Instead of echoing the ruler like others, Chang-Shi solemnly informs him that the heavenly demon is formidable, and this success is thanks to the collective efforts of the immortal clans. Once he attacks the seal again in 3 days, Sui Ming country will face a great disaster. However, K2A thinks the goddess is joking. "With you and the abundant immortal power of our Sui Ming country, are we afraid of dealing with the remains of that old thing?" Chang-Shi tactfully reminds the ruler to prepare early. Upon hearing this, K2O's face darkens. "Our Sui Ming country is caught between the immortal and demon realms. Our entire nation's military power guards the Seal Temple. There is heavenly demon harassment in front and assignment from the fairy world behind. We work tirelessly for the benefit of the immortal realm but gain no benefits ourselves." Then, with a wave of his hand, he declares to the ministers below, "I, representing the immortal realm, am willing to completely eliminate the heavenly demon spies around Sui Ming country. Even if that old thing breaks through the barrier, it will be isolated and without support. At that time, we will directly capture the Demon Lord." Interrupting the ruler's dangerous statement, Chang-Shi speaks sternly, "I hope the ruler will think twice. The conflict between immortals and demons is no child's play and should not be taken lightly, especially not something the ruler can participate in." After speaking, she stands up and takes her leave directly. As Changshi departs, the ruler's previously passionate demeanor disappears without a trace. He gazes at Changshi's retreating figure with a dark expression, a contemptuous remark escaping his lips. Such a woman only focuses on her immediate surroundings, lacking broader vision. Not long after, a carriage arrived in front of Changshi's mansion. At this moment, a sharp voice also rang out, for the goddess has merit in purifying the demonic energy. The ruler rewarded 10 pieces of celestial brocade, a bag of spirit pills, and a peerless handsome man. As soon as those words fell, a young man with black hair confidently walked towards the mansion. Changshi saw the man in front of her without any reaction. She ordered the maid to escort him into the room as usual. The man with black hair looked proud. It is said that goddess likes handsome men, and I am the unparalleled beauty that appears once every 4,000 years. As long as I conquer goddess, I will have the highest status under the ruler. The man then asked the woman with purple hair in front of him whether he should bathe first or go directly to serve her. Little did he know, the woman's face showed disgust as she threw him into a room, informing him that his number is 234, and this will be his residence from now on. He should get along well with everyone. Seeing the man in front of them without any surprise, the others politely said, "Here comes another unlucky person. Welcome." Facing a great gap, the man with black hair angrily accused the woman who brought him. "I came to serve goddess." "What do you mean?" Mockingly, the woman with purple hair said he's just a bunch of rotten vegetables, and does he deserve goddess favor with his appearance? However, the man with black hair stubbornly and frantically banged on the door, insisting that goddess should at least see his beauty. "I don't believe there's a woman in this world who is not interested in men." Upon hearing his request, the woman with purple hair revealed a faint smile. "I advise you to give up your illusions and face reality early on. People like you can't even compare to half of Chinchanon's little finger." It was precisely at this moment that I, with a lecherous expression, was fondling Hanshi's softness, while continuously spouting the cheesy love lines I had just made up. I completely failed to notice that I had already entered Changshi's room, and this scene happened to be witnessed by Changshi. Seeing my joyful appearance, Changshi said in a sarcastic tone, "Have you become so audacious that you opened the heavenly demon teleportation array to the goddess shrine?" Junior sister, even in the face of such an embarrassing situation, I still had no intention of letting go, continuously savoring this moment. Hanshi, infuriated by my shameless behavior, blushed. "Blame it on this guy's flattery and wandering hands, which caused me to mistakenly activate the teleportation to the wrong location. In order to carry out the plan of seizing the artifact, Hanshi threw me into Changshi's embrace. You, a freeloader, still love this foolish woman. Changshi, I don't want you anymore. Get lost." At the same time, she put on a look of disdain and said to Changshi, "I don't care about a woman who has someone else in her heart. I consider our past accounts settled." While thinking to myself, I didn't expect this girl to act quite well. After saying all this, Hanshi turned around and headed towards the teleportation gate. Using our secret language from before, she reminded me, "Don't forget the mission." I understood Hanshi's meaning in an instant and quietly pursed my lips to indicate that it's no problem. "I'll come back and conquer you once I achieve success and fame." Changshi looked at me, lost in her embrace, and sneered. The two of them exchanged glances right under my nose. Did they really think I couldn't see? "It's all just for the sake of this artifact on my body." "Hanshi, you really are ruthless. Your poor acting skills haven't improved since childhood. You can't fool anyone at all." With that in mind, Changshi turned around and left without looking back. Feeling the sudden disappearance of the softness on my face, I hurriedly caught up. "My dear, you have to believe me. The truth is actually like this." Changshi coldly snorted. "If you want to explain, do it while washing." Hearing those sensitive words, I immediately became interested, lecherously staring at Changshi's enchanting figure. Is it really what I imagined? When I followed Changshi to the hall of baths, the maids standing outside started gossiping. "It's the first time goddess has brought a man for bathing. Looks like someone will be serving her tonight." Meanwhile, I had a wicked smile as I stared at the beautiful body in front of me. Goddess carriage speed is still unfathomable. Now, I'm only left with one question that troubles me. Can I scrub both the front and back? Seeing that I remained motionless for a long time, Changshi turned her head shyly and looked at me. "Can you handle it?" In the face of Changshi's mockery, I warned her not to play with fire. I can be very fierce. Then, my nosebleed surged. I picked up a towel and charged forward. "How dare you question me? I'll show you what it means to have divine skills." As I said that, I grabbed Changshi's arm, and immediately, a panicked voice from Changshi could be heard. "What is this white thing?" Ignoring Changshi's exclamation, I swung the towel all the way down to her feet. Using milk as a medium, the process of scrubbing with milk can moisturize the skin, making the complexion of the goddess even fairer. However, these words, which should have sounded romantic, reached the ears of the maids outside the door and turned into blush-inducing love words. Even they, as outsiders, couldn't help but feel restless. When Changshi saw me being so skilled, she asked with a hint of jealousy, "Have you served many ladies before?" I replied, "I've only served you. As an honest person like me, where would I get so much experience?" Speaking of which, the figure of Jiang Xianchu once again appeared in my mind. I have only taken a bath with one person in my entire life. She was the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Unfortunately, I was busy at the time and still wearing clothes. After hearing this, Changshi blushed. She must think I'm talking about the time we bathed together before, but now I'm beating around the bush, being smooth-tongued. Seeing that Changshi didn't believe me, I laughed awkwardly. This is actually true. After I finish everything, I will marry her and enjoy the bliss of a harmonious family. However, Changshi thought I was proposing to her and started imagining countless scenes in her mind. But when she saw my serious expression, her heart softened, and she shyly turned her head to steal a glance at me. Unfortunately, I am only immortal. Could I also have the happiness of an ordinary person? And my massage reached its final step, where I firmly pressed my hands onto her Yongquan acupoints, feeling the power surging through her. Changshi couldn't help but twitch the corners of her mouth. Seeing her turning away, I couldn't help but worry. Did I use too much force and scare her? Then I apologized to her. I didn't know if you could handle it. Next time, I'll be more gentle. Little did I know that Changshi had already secretly given her heart to me. This man, how does he know such pleasurable techniques? With this in mind, Changshi couldn't help but look at me. I understand your intentions. It's too early to talk about marriage. The seal on the Demon Lord's formation has begun to weaken. In 3 days, the Demon Lord will reappear in the mortal realm. You must leave here as soon as possible. While I can still protect you, I'll send you to a safe place before the disaster strikes. Upon hearing this, I calmly replied, "It doesn't matter. I will take action." Changshi loudly admonished me, "You have no idea what you'll be facing next." There is no emotional fluctuation in my eyes. I responded to her with an indifferent expression, "No matter what happens, I will never leave you alone. With me by your side, no one can harm you." The scene fell into a strange silence in that instant. Changshi gave an awkward yet polite smile. This guy has no idea what he's facing. He's just bragging here. But then again, if it were someone else, they would have been scared to death. After the conversation ended, Changshi brought me to her chamber, and while I took off my pants, she fell asleep right beside me. It seems she had accumulated too much stress and fatigue, and she quickly dozed off after I helped her relax a bit. But this is also the perfect time for me, and under the disguise of the system, I regained my true glory. I twisted my head and muttered to myself, "So, you're the ancient heavenly demon, huh? I'd like to see what you're made of." After leaving Changshi's residence, I transformed into a stream of light and flew towards the dilapidated temple. However, as soon as I arrived at the entrance of the main hall, I heard a shrill laughter coming from inside. Such pure healing power can only belong to goddess. One of the lackeys reminded the others, "Don't focus on one spot and wear it out. If the seal breaks, what will we do?" The lackey replied disdainfully, "Let it break. Don't we still have goddess? Just let her come and fix it. Where will she get new divine power if she doesn't seal it? How can our lord strengthen the country's influence, or cultivate an undying legion?" The nearby lackey agreed and burst into laughter. "That woman, rather than being a goddess, is no different from a cow. She's foolishly sealing it, giving us a free benefit." Watching their despicable and arrogant behavior, I couldn't help but feel that this kind of arrogance and baseness has existed since ancient times. Thinking of Changshi's forlorn appearance in the past, she was truly working hard for the entire immortal realm. But now, she has fallen prey to these parasites, and my gaze grew colder and colder. For those who carry the firewood, one should not let them freeze to death in the frost and snow. Immediately, I no longer concealed my presence, and strode boldly towards them. The lackeys, upon seeing me, mistakenly believed I was a powerless mortal, while warning me, a mere mortal, daring to enter the temple. "Do you want to die?" Seeing their contemptuous faces, I remained emotionally unaffected. "Just a bunch of ants, so much nonsense. Die." At the same moment, inextinguishable divine flames ignited all around them, and piercing screams filled the air. It seems I'm becoming more and more like a true villain. The long-absent system prompt finally resounded once again. "Congratulations, host, for slaying the peak immortal commander. Reward, 7 million domain value and a salted fish treasure chest." Then, I picked up the staves they dropped on the ground. It seems the purpose of this thing is to transfer divine power elsewhere. In just this short time, who knows how much power it has extracted, and it was at that moment the seal suddenly shattered. Startled, Changshi, who was sound asleep, instantly opened her eyes, her expression filled with fear towards the demon lord. In the blink of an eye, surging demonic energy broke through the seal and erupted from behind me. Immediately, a massive demonic shadow engulfed the entire Sui Ming country. Heavenly Demon has been resurrected. At this moment, Changshi also rushed outside. How could the seal break prematurely after so many years? There were still 2 days left. Even Han Shi, thousands of miles away, felt the presence of the Demon Lord. How could this happen so quickly? Could it be that the kid really stole the artifact? And the origin of all this sin, upon witnessing this scene, couldn't help but collapse. The Demon Lord has actually appeared. This is impossible. Protect the king. Protect the king. I'm going to seek assistance from the immortal realm. The demonic realm is also in chaos. The thunderous shouts echoed as the entire army rallied, preparing to welcome our king. Within the seal, the laughter of the Demon Lord grew even more manic. I have said that no one in this world can imprison me anymore. I shall return to the mortal realm, to let terror once again shroud the entire land. The Demon Lord, freed from his restraints, releases the accumulated resentment of millions of years into the surroundings. Then, with a sudden forceful push from his feet, he charges towards the outside world. I am determined to dismember that girl who dared to oppose me. 1,000 cuts, a heart pierced by 10,000 arrows. Raise the flag on the pinnacle of this grand hall, to proclaim to the world, ancient continent, your king has returned. But just as the Demon Lord is about to leave, my large hand presses against his head, emitting an unmatched intent to kill. I glare at the arrogant figure before me. If you want to leave this place, have you asked me? Go back. Seeing my icy gaze, the Demon Lord's heart also turns cold. Devoid of any power to resist, he is struck down into the ground by my palm. As the Demon Lord stands up again, he no longer exudes the previous arrogance, questioning who I am, secretly wondering why the woman, who is undoubtedly the strongest here, was not my match. Why could this person press me back into the seal with a single palm? I take step by step towards him as I descend from the sky. I'm just a passerby. I fixate my gaze on the insignificant lackey beneath my feet. Though I don't know what this fellow is exactly, one thing is certain. If he were to leave, he would undoubtedly threaten the life of the goddess. Anyone who dares to hinder me from obtaining the artifact shall perish. Just then, the sound of footsteps continuously approaches. I pay no attention to it. Meanwhile, a fiery light gathers in my hand. I don't care who you are or how powerful you may be. The only thing I have to do now is to exterminate all of you, leaving none behind. As for the reason, I feel that you all are too bothersome and may potentially obstruct me. After the seal of the Demon Lord shattered, the demonic energy instantly spread throughout the celestial realm. Even the common folks in the immortal realm realized that this time was different from the past. The Demon Lord has emerged. Other immortal realms also sensed this demonic energy at the same time, and swiftly gathered all the powerful immortal factions to sway Ming country, to suppress the Demon Lord. Then, beams of golden light continuously flew from various immortal realms into the sky. Answering the call of that voice, the Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance expressed some concerns. This battle is related to the lives of all beings in the world. Everyone must not be careless. But the Heavenly Lord of Lingering Brilliance didn't think much of it. Instead, she mocked the so-called Demon Lord as a relic of a bygone era. What is there to worry about? The Heavenly Lord of Zealous Clarity agreed with the words of the Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance, once again warning all the immortal factions not to underestimate the Demon Lord. Otherwise, they wouldn't even know how they died. After all, the Demon Lord was only sealed with the combined power of the entire immortal realm. Only by working together can we stop him. Inside Sui Ming country at this moment, the palace built to seal the Demon Lord is completely enveloped in demonic energy, continuously corrupting the ordinary people within Sui Ming country. And in the mansion of the goddess, the more than 200 concubines look at the apocalyptic scene helplessly muttering to themselves. Nowhere is safe anymore. The self-proclaimed #1 handsome man, the narcissist, shouts. Now, of course, the safest place is by the side of the goddess. At the same time, he looks maliciously at the goddess's sleeping quarters. That Chinchanon. At this moment, he might be seeking protection in the embrace of the goddess. Why is it that only he receives favor? Must we endure this suffering? The other concubines immediately stop the narcissist from going alone to find the goddess, and warn him that the danger is outside, so he should stay here for now. The narcissist turns back and scolds. A bunch of useless fools. As long as I have the favor of the goddess, what is there to fear about this little danger? As long as the goddess is present, everything will be resolved. Also, at this moment, the immortal soldiers and all the people within Sui Ming country continuously pray for the goddess to quickly repair the seal. In despair, the goddess answers everyone. The seal formation has completely collapsed now. With my strength alone, I can no longer do it. The immortal factions behind her shout in disbelief. Some timid guards have even dropped their weapons and fled on their own. And that guy nearby is still questioning the goddess. What does it mean to be unable to seal? Are we just going to let the Demon Lord appear like this? Chang Shi earnestly responds. If we have enough people to assist now, perhaps we can delay for a moment. After hearing this, one guard grabs Chang Shi's shoulder. What does a moment of time mean? Aren't you the goddess? Isn't it your duty to maintain the seal? And now you're thinking of dragging us down with you? Letting the people of Sui Ming country be contaminated by the demonic energy like this? What kind of goddess are you? Upon hearing their reproachful words, Changshi no longer has the calmness she had before. She shakes off the guard's hand and bursts forth with a surge of energy. Her expression becomes extremely terrifying. "You bunch of scum." And at this moment, the emblem on Changshi's chest stimulates her mind. With the help of his power, Changshi regains herself, and inwardly thinks, that was close. She disappointingly tells the guards to leave on their own, while she stays behind to continue purifying the demonic energy, buying the people of Sui-Ming country some time to retreat. Suddenly, the voice of the country's lord comes through, calling out to everyone not to worry. He has already informed the immortal realm. Just hold on for a little longer. The reinforcements from the immortal realm will arrive to suppress the demon lord. Changshi loudly asks, "Suppress? With what power will you suppress? Are you planning to use that bit of power you stole from me to suppress? If it weren't for today, I would still be kept in the dark. Do you know how many predecessors' lives were sacrificed for this seal? With my protection, there should have been 10,000 years of peace. And now, it has only been 6,512 years. Do you know that once the demon lord breaks free from the final shackles, you, me, and everyone present will die?" The lord of Sui-Ming brushes his nose casually and asks, "Why has the goddess tainted others' innocence? Under my plan, the immortal realm has already emptied out and rushed here. It's clearly because you couldn't restrain the temple and failed to foresee the consequences. Yet you still try to shift the blame onto me. For this person who distorts right and wrong." Changshi feels a murderous intent for the first time, just as tension mounts between the two sides. A trembling man points towards the seal. "Quick, look, there's no more demonic energy surging out." The people around also notice this based on the man's words. Changshi's expression becomes conflicted. The seal hasn't closed. Why is there no demonic energy leaking out? The lord of Sui-Ming country, seeing this scene, bursts into insane laughter. "All of this was part of my plan. After thousands of years, the seal has drained his power. It's just you, goddess, making a fuss over nothing." Following the Lord's command, the crowd brings out the 1,000-mile prism mirrors that can explore every corner of heaven and earth. Although Changshi is greatly puzzled, she still looks into the mirror as instructed. The citizens of Sui-Ming country also stop in their tracks and look up, wanting to see what is happening in the demon abyss. With the continuous influx of immense immoral power, the gigantic mirror suddenly reacts, and within the image, it is clear that I am battling the demon lord. Upon seeing this scene, a tsunami of emotions surges within everyone's hearts. How is it possible for someone to single-handedly fight the demon lord without falling behind? When everyone sees the boundless demons in the scene, their hearts tremble once again. These are the Demon King's army, known as the natural enemy of immortals. The citizens, upon witnessing this scene, don't feel grateful. Instead, they think I am ignorant of life and death within the demon abyss. The so-called righteous immortal soldiers show a gloating expression. Although they don't know the extent of this idiot's power, his evasion skills are top-notch. They can take advantage of him and hold on until the arrival of the immortals. Only Changshi, upon seeing that familiar figure, can't help but tremble. How could he be in the demon abyss? Within the demon abyss, I swing my arm gently, unleashing terrifying power. In an instant, the so-called Demon King's army is decimated by my attacks. Then, I grab the giant stone that once sealed the demon lord and throw it at him. Under my assault, the so-called demon lord has no room for resistance. The lord watching the scene shouts with excitement, believing that I am a celestial being sent by the immortal realm. They never expected that someone in this world could stop the demon lord. Over 200 male lovers of Changshi witness this scene and marvel at how extraordinary I am for tangling with the ancient demon king. The narcissistic man, after witnessing this scene, can't stop praising me. If I could gain his protection and go to the immortal realm with him, then someone like Chinchanan, in my eyes, would be nothing more than a dog. Changshi, still with a terrified expression, stares at the battle in the mirror. Impossible. This man was just a bootlicking pervert not long ago. And at that moment, Changshi suddenly remembers what I had said to her. There is no one in this world who can rival me, Chinchanan. And now, I am enjoying the pleasure of slaughter. After all, the last time I felt this good was in the last time. As the sound of the system domain value being credited continues to ring out, the so-called Demon King's army vanishes from the world. Then, I mockingly look at the fallen Demon King on the ground. "Oh, seems like you're the only one left now." Even in the millions of years, even during the last immortal demon war, he was never in such a sorry state. This reversal infuriates the Demon King completely, and he bursts into laughter, talking big with a bit of strength. "Do you really think you're invincible? Originally, I didn't plan to reveal my power so soon, but but then I'll use you as a sacrifice." Instantly, even more terrifying power continuously gushes forth from the demon lord's body. My peak strength, even the lord of your mortal realm dares not stand in my way. Those who obstruct me shall die. Then, the demon lord's body distorts at this moment. The system's prompts ring incessantly, detecting the presence of a power surpassing the domain lord. "Host, please be cautious," and I simply watch the demon lord below, allowing him to remove his own restrictions. "What are you afraid of? Even if the true demon god returns, he will only be my plaything next." To make the game more interesting, I have no intention of interrupting. I silently wait for the demon lord's transformation to complete. Upon seeing that blue light, a trace of amusement curves my lips involuntarily. "After the transformation, you still have some style, huh?" The system's warning sounds continue to ring out at this moment, detecting a new level of power. Detection complete. The opponent's power level is Domain God. After the evolution, the appearance of the demon lord undergoes a significant change. The surging blue flames from within his body. Then the demon lord, with his crimson eyes, stares at me intently. "I admit your strength, but it's still too tender to step forward for that girl." In the next moment, the demon lord leaps fiercely. The resulting shockwave causes the earth to crack. Then the demon lord appears in front of me and throws a punch, creating cracks in the surrounding space. Although I possess the peak strength of a domain lord, under this terrifying pressure, I have no ability to resist and am sent flying. Seeing that I remain indifferent, the system's tone becomes anxious. Opponent's level exceeds the current avatar's level. "Do you want to exchange for a higher level avatar?" Then calmly, I gather blue energy in my hand, and I ask the system, "If this avatar is shattered, will I be sent back to the original timeline?" After hearing my question, the system informs me, "If you can create an avatar in this realm and time, you can continue to exist in this space." Thinking that I'm muttering to myself because I'm scared by his immense power, the demon lord smirks and says to me, "You little brat, is this all you've got? I haven't even exerted my strength yet. I will torture you until you die." Then a tremendous energy explodes in the air. In the blink of an eye, he launches an attack on me countless times. The immortals outside the seal, upon witnessing this scene, each feel despair in their hearts. What is going on here? The monarch's eyes are filled with fear towards the demon lord. Wasn't the demon lord's power weakened by the seal? What's the story behind that appearance? Chang-Chi curses. At this point, can't you see the situation clearly? That is his strongest power during his prime. The demon lord was born from the desires of all things. As long as desires exist in the world, he is immortal. His physical body is unbeatable. Even the gods are not confident in directly killing him. They could only seal him for 10,000 years. The seal should have eroded all of his demonic aura over the years. But why does it seem like Chang-Chi suddenly realizes something? A dreadful thought emerges in her mind. Could it be that he has been nourishing these demon armies with his own demonic aura to create the illusion of his weakened state? Upon hearing Chang-Chi's words, the monarch, instead of reflecting on himself, turns his accusations towards Chang-Chi, demanding how she failed to notice such a thing. At the same time, he nervously looks at the scene within the seal. Now that the demon lord has recovered to this extent, that immortal cannot possibly be a match for the demon lord. After countless battles, I silently sigh. Indeed, the gap in experience and realm is insurmountable. Seeing that I still have no intention of enhancing my avatar, the system continuously reminds me in my ear, the opponent's strength far surpasses the host's. The demon lord, being entertained by my presence, appears unusually delighted, praising that I am an exceptionally strong fish. "What a pity, I'm done playing. Prepare to meet your demise." Then, with a forceful push of his feet, he springs towards my direction, preparing to deliver the next blow to eliminate me. I coldly smirk as I watch the charging demon lord. I've always been thinking, mirror images may appear to replicate my form, but each newly created one is always the strongest opponent I've encountered. Due to my keen observation, the system suddenly has a bad premonition, but instead of answering the system's inquiry, I ask it, "Little system, do you want to create something interesting with me?" Demon lord, seeing that I'm still persistent, kindly reminds me, "My physical body is the condensation of countless demonic auras. No immortal technique can kill me. Fear it. All emotions will be transformed into my power." I can already sense the countless fears from the outside world longing for me. When the accused monarch sees me being crushed by the demon lord, he can't help but shout at Chang-Chi. The immortals can no longer suppress the demon lord, while there is no obstruction from the demonic aura right now. Is there any way to seal them? Upon hearing this, Chang-Chi appears hesitant, even though her mission is to complete the seal and save everyone's lives, allowing the entire immortal realm to survive such a calamity. When she sees me still entangled with the demon lord, Chang-Chi's heart softens. Chinchanan is still persisting. How can I abandon him? Once the formation is sealed, he will undoubtedly die. Inside the seal, my gaze becomes serious. The game should come to an end. System, exchange the avatar. Upon hearing my words, the system promptly begins executing the command without hesitation. The avatar is under construction. Meanwhile, the seal outside unexpectedly releases endless demonic aura again, and the cracks on the ground spread at an extremely fast pace. Seeing this, the immortal family's command, Changshi, act quickly. Do you want to witness the immortal realm falling into turmoil and the ancient demon lord reappearing in the mortal world? Hanshi, hiding in the shadows, feels delighted. The demon lord's condition seems to be better than expected. I need to convey this information outside as soon as possible. However, Changshi will surely be too busy to care about that guy Chinchanan. Who knows if that fool will find a safe place to hide? Perhaps I can take advantage of the rampant demonic aura and take him away. Just as Hanshi is preparing to take action, a loud voice resounds. Immortal families, do not panic. Soon after, one by one, the immortal families arrive to provide assistance in a timely manner. Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance announces with an unquestionable tone, "For now, we will take temporary control of this place." The hearts of the immortals from the Sui Ming country finally relaxed when they saw the three individuals suspended in the air. They pleaded for the three immortal lords to intervene and save the immortal realm, to slay the demon lord. Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance didn't hesitate for a moment and summoned golden chains that flew towards the seal, his majestic voice resounding through heaven and earth. "Soldiers, follow me to suppress the demon lord." However, just at this critical moment, Changshi stopped everyone. She pointed out that there was still someone fighting the demon lord inside, and their fate was uncertain. She asked if they could rescue him first, as he had prevented the demon lord from breaking out of the barrier. Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance interrupted Changshi, stating that no one in the immortal realm could fight the demon lord alone, and he was likely already reduced to ashes. He dismissed the sacrifice of one person compared to the millions of inhabitants of the immortal realm. He coldly ordered Changshi to step aside, accusing her of neglecting her duties and wondering if she wanted to compound her crimes. He remarked that despite being the goddess of spring, she acted with such frivolity when facing matters of great importance. He commanded everyone to follow him and take their positions. By this time, the demon lord had already subdued me and his expression was filled with mockery. He called me a brat wasting time and wondered if I wanted to delay him again to seal him once more. He claimed it was all in vain. Then, he threw me into the endless abyss and flew alone towards the seal. It had been a while since I heard the pleasant wailing of an immortal. Ha ha. As I continued to descend, the system finally announced that the avatar had been successfully generated and urged me to enjoy it. Just as the demon lord was about to break free from the seal, a familiar demonic aura appeared in front of him, blocking his path. Then, my voice, as cold as hell, echoed in his ears, asking if he thought I would allow him to leave. As he sensed the terrifying aura emanating from me, the demon lord's voice began to tremble. "How could it be you?" I paid no attention to him. Instead, I raised my hand and controlled the surrounding demonic energy to bind him. A mix of resentment, anger, and fear surged within him, and he shouted at me, "Are you insane? If when the formation is complete, you won't be able to leave. If I'm completely sealed, that girl will be useless. Do you understand?" As I heard his continuous screams, I cast a cold gaze upon the despairing demon lord. "Don't measure me with your limited perception, insignificant fish." Outside the great formation, the excited voices of Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance and the other immortals resounded in everyone's hearts. The formation is complete. From now on, the demon lord will be completely sealed, with no one able to break the formation and escape. At the same time, he expressed his gratitude to the people around him. "Thanks to all of you for successfully sealing him. It was only possible with the concerted effort of the immortals." The Lord of Sui Ming country chuckled and attributed the success to Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance. "It was all thanks to Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance's contribution. We were merely assisting." Only Changshi remained indifferent, hiding on the side, her mind echoing with the name of that person. Hanshi also realized the gravity of the situation. If the demon lord was truly sealed, the second group of troops that arrived would face the full force of the immortal army, and it would be disastrous. Just as Hanshi was about to leave to inform the demonic army, she was suddenly intercepted by a dark arm. The person who arrived was Heavenly Lord of Zealous Clarity. He then looked at Hanshi in front of him. "Since you're here, don't think about leaving." Changshi sensed the danger as soon as she saw Hanshi and whispered to herself, "Why is she here at this time? The immortals won't allow a demon to intrude into the immortal realm." At that moment, Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance spoke up, addressing Changshi. "Changshi, The divine realm entrusted you with the divine artifact to guard the seal of Sui Ming country. However, now that the seal is broken, and even the heavenly demon is present, you know who she is, right? Without waiting for Chang Shi to answer, Heavenly Lord of Radiant Brilliance's hand slid, and a burst of immortal power heavily injured Chang Shi. Colluding with the heavenly demon, what crime should you be held accountable for? The next moment, the entire earth suddenly trembled, and the surrounding pressure increased by dozens of times in an instant. The sealed entrance was forcefully opened by a terrifying energy. The immortal beings, who had just been arrogant moments ago, felt a chill in their hearts when they witnessed this scene. The new seal is broken. What's happening? After seeing their pitiful state, I sneered. Whether it's tens of thousands of years ago or tens of thousands of years later, they're all a bunch of pitiful fools unworthy of pity. Then I coldly questioned, whose crimes are you here to judge? All the people present turned their gaze in my direction. Who possesses such a powerful aura? And as they saw me, their hearts plunged into an icy abyss. They witnessed me emanating a more terrifying demonic energy than the demon lord himself, and beneath my feet stood the feared lord of 10,000 demons. The lord of Sui Ming country couldn't help but tremble uncontrollably when he saw this surreal scene. This is the heavenly demon, even more terrifying than the demon lord. Seeing the reactions of everyone, I laughed recklessly and said word by word, "System, I want to eat fish."